Have you ever wondered if your finances are on track? I mean, it's easy to feel overwhelmed when you don't know what you should be comparing yourself to and how you compare. Today, I'll break down what your net worth should be at every age using two popular guidelines. One is from the Millionaire Next Door and the other is from Fidelity's benchmark. We will also explore some of the pros and the cons of using these as comparisons because, of course, they don't know all of the nuances that make you who you are. So I want you to make an informed decision about how you measure up to what others say you should or should not have. Let's dive in. So what is your net worth? Let's simplify the concept. It is effectively your assets minus your liabilities equal your net worth. And if you want to learn more about what falls into each of those categories, then I want you to watch this video right here, where I talk about your net worth and how it compares to other positions. Remember, your net worth is just a number. It is a reflection of your financial habits in a single moment in time. And the good thing is that you can change your net worth, and that is something that we're going to be talking about in future videos. So you definitely want to subscribe to my channel and hit the like button so that I can get you more of this information. Now, before we dive into the equation, let's talk a little bit about the book, The Millionaire Next Door. This book is based on a study of American millionaires, and it reveals some very simple but hard truths about what makes us smart, what makes us affluent, and it challenges some of the misconceptions of what we think a millionaire should and should not be, honestly. It was a really good read for me because it helped to validate some of the frugality. Yeah, I'm frugal Franny over here, and I'm just thankful that the authors, they saw me in this book. This book revealed that most millionaires aren't flashy. They're not driving the latest car or wearing a fancy, expensive watch. Many of them are frugal. They live in simple homes and they drive a very meager, sometimes even old cars. The book emphasizes that it's not about how much you earn, but it's about what you do with what you have and how much you keep. So let's talk about what your net worth should be at each age based upon the book, The Millionaire Next Door. Now, from the study that he did to evaluate the millionaires in America, he came up with a very simple formula that helps us understand where our net worth should be. The Millionaire Next Door teaches us that our target net worth should be our age times our gross income divided by 10. Now, this is a number that should be our expected net worth based upon who we are and how much we've earned. So let's break it down. If you are 38 like me and you make $200,000, divide that by 10, you should have a net worth of about $760,000. Now let me give you a few examples, okay? Because maybe you're not 38 and maybe you don't make $200,000. Let's say that you are 50 years old and you make $100,000. 50 times $100,000 is $5 million. Now divide that by 10 and that gives you $500,000 as a target net worth. Now in the book, he describes three categories of accumulators of wealth. The first is at the bottom, which is an under accumulator of wealth. That if your wealth falls under the targeted amount based upon this formula, then you are in fact an under accumulator of wealth. Now, if you fall right within that target, 760,000 if you're 38 and you're making $200,000 like me, or if you're 50 and you're making $100,000 a year and you have a net worth of $500,000, then you are at the average accumulator of wealth. Now, if you are above that, and he says that this category really you should be 2 times this amount, but if you are 2 times your target amount, you are a prodigious accumulator of wealth. And this just helps you to better understand where you're going, that you can increase how much you're accumulating or decrease your savings rate to fall more within the average or the target range. Now let's talk about Fidelity's benchmark. Fidelity offers us another guideline to understand the expected net worth for us at each decade. Now, Fidelity has crafted these benchmarks because they want us to be retirement ready. So when you're thinking about how you're earning and how you're saving in your 20s, you should really just start learning how to invest, start learning how to save, and you might be paying down some debt, so doing that as well. In your 30s, based upon Fidelity's benchmark, you should have 1 times your gross salary as your net worth. And this is really money that you have earmarked for retirement to indicate that you're retirement ready. Now, in your 40s, you should have 3 times your gross salary based upon Fidelity's benchmark. In your 50s, you should have 6 times your salary. At 60s, you should have 8 times your salary. And at the age of retirement, you should have 10 times your salary. Now, we are saying gross salary, but we know that that is not what we take home and put in our bank accounts. But if you're able to save that amount, then you definitely know that you will be retirement ready. And you probably will have another problem, which is the problem of over saving because you have accumulated so much wealth. Now, while these benchmarks are helpful, they don't take into account some of us, people like me, who went to school for too long or maybe just the right amount of time to do what I want to do, and who have accumulated a significant amount of student loans. What he evaluated as far as the number of millionaires, that a lot of them were self-employed. And they weren't self-employed doing this like tech. They had like very reasonable jobs. And so if you are someone like me, you're a physician, you're a high income earner because you're a nurse practitioner or you're a lawyer or an engineer, then you likely in your 40s are not able to accumulate and amass 3 times your salary because you may have a decent amount of student loan debt. So it doesn't take into account those who have delayed earnings and those who have significant amount of debt. However, wherever you are, remember that these are metrics for you to really just kind of understand how you compare to others, what you can work towards achieving, and figure out a way to get there. So if you're thinking, okay, Brittany, how do I get there? You want to adjust for your circumstances. Say you started earning a lot later than other people who may have been included in this equation. You may have to increase your savings rate once you pay down your debt. And as a high income earner, I think this is definitely possible for you. And if you want to understand like how much you need to save in order to retire and how much you might need, then watch this video right here where I teach you exactly how to calculate your savings rate. Then you also want to prioritize habits. Consistency is king. So if you want to achieve a financial goal and get there faster, then you want to be consistent with that financial goal. And if you have trouble sticking with your financial goals, then you can watch this video right here where I'll teach you how to create financial goals that you can stick with, especially as we're approaching the next year. We're all making new goals, and I want you to feel good about your 2025. Now, knowing your target net worth is a starting point, but the real goal is really understanding what you should do when in order to build your net worth as expected. And I'm going to teach you a step-by-step systematic approach to get there by using the financial waterfall. So subscribe to my channel so that you can get the next video. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.